Everybody's sleeping on my boy Mega Beedrill these days, but today I'm gonna bust this bad boy out in some top ladder ranked matches and get it to literally delete people. Mega Beedrill believes in one thing and one thing only, and that is some offense. While it's built like a wet paper bag that dies if you touch it, it's mostly fine because it's got a huge base 150 attack and 140 speed. The sad thing is that since there's no abilities in ZA, it doesn't get the adaptability boost that would make it great normally, but I'm pretty confident that in this meta, Mega Beedrill can still be a menace, and here's what we're gonna do. Step number 1 is setting up a Swords Dance at a safe distance. We can easily double our attack, and then we're able to zoom into combat from afar with its best coverage option in Drill Run. Ground coverage is amazing right now, especially with all the steel threats running around, but even things like Mega Delphox, along with fire types in general, just do not enjoy it. Once we're in close range, we then bust out Poison Jab. This is amazing right now thanks to all the Xerneas running around, since Swords Dance boosted Poison Jab just sends them back to the Shadow Realm that they came from. We've then got another stab option in X-Scissor, which is just an alternate way to hit things hard and quick. The attack speed on this thing's pretty wild, and no matter where most Pokemon are like slow and thick, Beedrill's cooldowns and movement speed are incredibly fast and can result in some sweet combos. Nobody sees the bug type as a threat right now, so it's time to see if we can get one of my favorite megas going.
Just be careful, because I got a lot of big old wilderness bugs out here.
Oh, hey. Y'all best be careful or I'm gonna sting you with my stinger.
As a bug type enjoyer, Mega Beedrill is one of my favorite megas of all time. And while this thing's not a wilderness bee, it's kind of a city, it's in the city these days, but it's still gonna sting you. And I think this thing can be pretty decent in this meta. So we're gonna see if we can rack up some Mega Beedrill knockouts. Now, before we get into the action, since we're on the topic of Beedrill, this seems like a good opportunity to show off one of my favorite graded Pokemon cards. This is a reverse holo legendary collection Beedrill. And this card from my childhood is a pretty big reason why I just like the bee. Now, before we jump into the action, this also works out really well for today's sponsor, Arena Club. Arena Club has changed the game with their original slab packs, which give you the thrill of ripping packs with the power to buy, sell, and trade all in one place. Slab packs allow you to open a pack that contain a guaranteed authentic graded card, and there's a wide variety of packs starting at just $25. They offer full transparency, showing each card in the pack with the likelihood of pulling each one, so you know exactly what you're getting into before you buy. And with every pack having the chance to contain a grail that's at least 25 times the price of the pack, I'm going to open up a Ruby tier slab pack right now just to see what I end up getting. All right, it's game time, baby. If I end up getting the grail Shining Gyarados, I will absolutely freak out. I just love vintage cards in general. Now that I say that it's going to be something modern, what do we get? Hey, yo, that's the promo Erica's Venusaur in a near mint min 8. Okay, hold on. I do not even have this card. And this is one of my favorite Venusaur cards. Look at the holo on that bat. Okay. The cool part is that they give you an immediate cash offer after you open a card based on its current market value, so you can just accept that on the spot if you want, but I'm building a pretty sweet little collection in my showroom. Plus, to get the physical card, you can just get it shipped to you right away if that's what you're looking for. I've personally had a lot of fun opening slab packs, and if this sounds cool to you, right now you can grab 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/Haydon and use the code Haydon. So huge shout out to Arena Club, and with that, let's go ahead and get into some Beedrill action. All right, so as we jump into the battle, it's an interesting time for Mega Beedrill right now. It has bad matchups, but it also has some pretty good ones. Overall, I think it can work. So on this team, I'm leading off with the Avalugg, right? This thing's bulky. It's here to just stay alive and honestly just grab me a good position against things like Garchomp, but most of all, just some Mega Charge while not dying and just being a fat coffee table that just waddles around the battlefield about slow as hell. Now, specifically on this map, it feels like it's a lot more chaotic because it's so small. So I kind of try to stay out of the way a little bit, which is hard when you're like the most massive alpha freaking ever. But I decided to swap into the Pyroar here. I'm going to throw a Hyper Voice out of this Xerneas. I don't quite have Mega Charge to get Mega Beedrill out yet. That's kind of one of the problems with the Beedrill is that if it's not Mega, it's not going to have the best time. Now, here's the thing, though. This Xerneas is coming at me 1v1. So I'm like, you know what? I can go into the Beedrill here, grab a Swords Dance, and this thing's in range for a Poison Jab to hopefully knock it out. It lives it with like 1, and then I get taken out by freaking Flareon, who's just chilling on the side there. So not the greatest start. However, I've got myself into Mega Charge. Now the guy with the Dragonite is chilling at 3 kills here, so we got some work to do out here. So I go right into the Beedrill. I'm gonna Mega right away, and if I can grab a Swords Dance from afar, things are about to take some damage. Now Tyranitar, obviously scary, right? But if I get a big Drill Run here, I can also catch it while it's dealing with this Charizard. Now I get the Drill Run off, it lives it with 1, and then the Charizard Flare Blitzes right through me. So again, horrible start. I'm sitting at 0 kills. Everybody's at 3, 3, and 2. So again, I got some work to do out here, but I'm feeling confident. I feel like I have pretty decent matchup here, and I believe in the drill, baby. I'm going to go ahead and just Mega right away. There is a shiny Mega Dragonite over here, which is sick. I grab a Swords Dance, and now It's stinging time, baby. They end up swapping into Xerneas as I poison jab. I grab myself a knockout, combo drill run into the Flareon, and then check this out. Greninja, I have the X Scissor, and that is a 3-piece. No drink. That should have cost you extra. But that immediately puts us right into the game. And I'm going to, again, go for another Sword Stance here. I'm thinking maybe after that SD, I can drill run into this Tyranitar. I get another kill, which is amazing. And then if I'm able to 1v1 this Dragonite, that would be insanity. Now, it does have a Heat Wave, which I can live. The combo of Poison Jab and X Scissor is just not quite enough. And then Greninja, while I'm just not even looking that way, is able to pick me off. But it's fine. I'm over here at 4 kills. We're tied for first place. I'm going to immediately go right back into the Beedrill because there's things like the Greninja. The Xerneas is out here. I Sword Stance once again because I don't quite have Mega. But as I go for that Poison Jab, you don't even need the big dick B. We could be regular size. It's going to be able to grab the knockout. And then I almost get the X Scissor on the Mega Greninja there. Sadly, it's just a little bit faster, especially since I'm not Mega, and it does pick me off. But again, we're at 5 kills, and this is an insanely close match here. And as we're under 30 seconds, I'm going to go for that Mega and try to see if I can get one more going. I would love to drill run into this Flareon. Things hanging on just barely by a thread. Unfortunately, they end up swapping. I ended up clicking X Scissor. It does over half to that Garchomp, which is crazy. I try to get off a Poison Jab to finish it. There's Chaos in the middle. Funnily enough, I'm able to finish off a Dragonite with an X Scissor, which is hilarious. That puts me at 6 kills. Now we're all 3 tied for the first place at 6 kills. I go into Avalugg late game to try to see if I can get a Stone Edge off on that Charizard, which would have been the most satisfying thing ever. It does not quite get it. The range on Stone Edge is not quite enough. However, that match is going to end. We're going to be tied for first place with a little triple tie here, which is crazy. Not something I've actually even seen before, especially with 6 kills is kind of wild. Mega Beedrill with that with that nice little combo in the mid game there really kind of set us up for some success there. So that was honestly a fun game. Mega Beedrill is an interesting mon in this just because I don't mess around a whole lot with really fast stuff. And I'll tell you what, that thing just moves across the battlefield extremely quickly and it gets its attacks off with that cooldown just so fast, even with just max HP investment because you're better off that way anyway. But with that, let's go ahead and jump into the next match and just keep the B rolling, baby. This time we got ourselves into a little bit of a pond map situation, and honestly, this is nice. You feel like you have way more breathing room. I lead off with the Avalugg once again. I see an Emolga there to the left, which is interesting. But then there's a Metagross. I might as well just go toward that Emolga. It turns into a Delphox, and my coffee table ass is getting out of here. Now, I take that Heavy Slam. Great part about Avalugg is, while it's slow, it lives everything. It gives me a great opportunity in the early game to just kind of like see what's going on. Now, I do end up swapping into the Pyro here. I try to get a little Earth Power off on this Delphox. If I can grab a kill that way, I will absolutely take it. I do grab the knockout. Now, the Pyros are not only scary in freaking Wild Zone 17, they can do some damage in some ranked battles. Now, Gyarados tries to come at me with a little Waterfall. As I switch into the Avalugg, I get it with a Heavy Slam, which is honestly insanely satisfying. I was just straight up mashing. I saw that Gyarados at 1 HP. Now, I switch into the Beedrill here to try to drill run on the stupid Ampharos, who ends up going for the Mega. Brings out the luscious locks, looking like he's in a damn shampoo commercial. Now, as I try to just 1v1 this thing, I do get off a drill run, but boy, is bulky as hell, and without Mega, Beedrill's not just going to be doing the damage that I want it to. So unfortunately, I do get taken out, but we get a breather here. I have some Mega Charge, and I'm going to go into the Beedrill and just see if I can get some stuff focused. So I Sword Stance from afar. I almost have the Mega Charge. I do still need to get like an attack off. Bad thing about Emolga, freaking electric type that's also flying. I go for it. I click drill run on accident. Funny part is, going for a drill run, even if it doesn't hit anything, it still does give you Mega Charge. Now, as I try to just X Scissor there, I am fully in range for the Mega, and I'm absolutely going to be going for it. I'm chilling in the middle. I'm in the danger zone here, but I go ahead and try to get risky here with this 1v1 on this Delphox. I'm feeling like if I get a drill run off, that's going to knock it out, and it absolutely does. That just straight up melts the Delphox. Drill Run is this thing's best weapon. And also check this out. As I'm going for that increase in damage, I also see the Ampharos going for it. Boom. Drill Run right through that thing as they do get the power up. You can't even use it. Then as I turn around, there's a Glaceon here. It wants the hands. I go for that Poison Jab. Just straight up knocks it out in one hit. Now as the chaos ensues, I go for a Drill Run again on the Delphox. It is able to live, but it puts it in range for an X Scissor to pick it off as I do go down. That is a fine sequence for me. That sets us at 6 kills. And Mega Beedrill is so fun. It's very frail, but it doesn't even care. It's like, I just kill you before you can touch me. And that's kind of the plan. Now, I do go back into the Beedrill on the respawn. I probably shouldn't have. I thought maybe I could get that Gyarados even not being Mega, but it definitely gets the best of me. Gyarados is super great right now. It honestly, at least if it's Mega, I have a super effective X Scissor on it. That thing's just regular, so it does have the upper hand. I do respawn back with the Beedrill because once again, I'm here to get the Beedrill to do stuff. And this Glaceon does get the Protect off on my Poison Jab, which is nice. But then as I go for the Mega, I'm able to avoid that Freeze Dry. So that's a pretty good sequence. They end up swapping into the Metagross. The bad thing is I get the 1v1 against this Metagross. People are just targeting me from the outside. I almost end up getting the knockout there on the crazy-ass Xbox, but I do get taken care of. I'm still at 6 kills, though, because that early damage we were able to do honestly just put us in such a winnable position that I got to try to play it a little bit safe. There's only 10 seconds left. As I try to go grab a power-up and get a drill run on that Excadrill, I get freaking Heat Wave from half court. Heat Wave just hits from so far away. Now, that is going to be the end of the match there. But honestly, one good sequence with Mega Beedrill just gets you in a winnable game. And that is going to be a big dub for the Big Dick B. That puts us at 6 kills. And I really like that these matches are only 3 minutes long. They feel manageable. Even if you don't have a great game, it's just over so quick. But we get some damage done early, and that set us up for a big dub. Now it's going to bring us into another game because we're just going to continue to keep it rolling. Again, this is Mega Beedrill's fun, and why not? Even in games where there's not a Xerneas, I kind of built this thing just expecting Xerneas to get Poison Jab knockouts on, but even in games where you don't see it, we still get some great value out of it. Now, again, we're back at the stupid circle one. This one feels less safe for Beedrill just because we're in range of an attack everywhere. So, as I lead off with the Avalugg, I see a Garchomp across, there's a Clefable and a Charizard. I need to stay away from that Charizard, but again, the plan with this thing is basically just run around, just attack some stuff. Even if I don't get knockouts, I'm mainly just trying to get that Mega Charge. So, I go for this Clefable because I am Assault Vest. Plus, I have a super effective Heavy Slam on it, and I get some big old damage there. Now, it also is in range to be picked off, but then I just get my kill stolen. So I'm like, hey, that was... Bro just came in and stole my freaking ledge. I tried to Stone Edge on the Gyarados, but that thing was gone like 3 hours ago. I just completely missed. And again, honestly, Assault Vest Avalugg can just throw damage out and live things. So I get an Earthquake off on that Gardevoir in range, get myself a free knockout, and I'm at a half Mega Charge, but I'm just going to go Beedrill anyway because I have a matchup on this Clefable. It does go for the Mega Clefable, which is not something you see often. I accidentally Poison Jab on the freaking Blastoise. Big fat ass was in the way, and unfortunately Garchomp comes and ruins my day. So, you know, I go down. I do have 1 kill with the Avalugg, but the Beedrill's just getting going because now we're in Mega range. So on the respawn, I go B right away. I see a Gardevoir. I'm hoping that Clefable hangs around. I grab myself right into the Mega range. I'm going to immediately go for that. That is like a free doubling of attack. I also get off a Swords Dance, and now it's time. I try to Drill Run on the Metagross here. Does do some great damage, but they turn around with the Stone Edge, and they do get me, which is unfortunate. You know, sometimes it sucks because also it's like I did so much damage to that Metagross that then someone else just gets a free kill on it. But the game is not over. We have a minute and a half left. I'm going to Poison Jab right into this Clefable, grab myself a kill because that Blastoise got it at half with a Hydro Pump. As I do Mega, I'm just going to start throwing some damage around. Blastoise, unfortunately, is big, fat, and bulky. So I'm like, you know, I take a huge amount of damage there, and this is the great part about swapping from far away. I go into the Avalugg, and as I'm far, I get out of this, get into the safety zone there. I also throw an Icicle Crash at the Garchomp, grab a knockout, steal it from the Dragonite there. And if this Dragonite wants to smoke too, I'm going to go ahead and I do connect on a Stone Edge. Unfortunately, however, a Hurricane does go off and takes care of me even through the Assault Vest, which absolutely busts my icy balls. But it's fine. We're chilling here with 3 kills. We're tied for first place, and there's a minute left. I can go into the Mega Beedrill, and I think I can get something going here if I get off that Swords Dance and then a Mega. I go for that Swords Dance. I know already that this Glaceon does not enjoy a Poison Jab. They end up swapping into a Gardevoir. I go for that Poison Jab, grab a free knockout on the Gardevoir. That thing got Poison Jabbed next Thursday. But then also check this out. Clefable's over here. I Poison Jab that thing as well. The cooldown time is so quick on this thing. It's insanity. But as they chase me down with the Charizard, I do end up swapping. Meant to go into the Pyroar, end up bringing in an Avalugg, who just gets friggin' melted by that. But we stay alive, and then I go right back to Beedrill. Because look, there's 20 seconds left. And there's a big fat Clefable looking like a nice appetizing mozzarella stick. I get off a Poison Jab, combo it with the Drill Run. That does take care of it. As I do try to X-Scissor on the Gyarados, it's just not quite going to be enough, and I had a little bit chipped there. The Gyarados does get us there, but I'm at 6 kills. There's only 5 seconds left in the match, and that should be a winnable game. There, you find some fairy types that are frail, you get Poison Jabs off, and you just do so much damage. The Beedrill has beaten the mid allegations today, at least so far. And that is going to be, you know, a nice little dub. Can't ask for much more than that. 6 kills is totally fine. That puts us in the #1 spot solely. And look, if you thought the Beedrill was done, go ahead and think again, because we're going to continue with the drill and just see if we can get some more quick kills. It's very satisfying. For some reason, it just feels like one of the most fun things for me to use right now. Anyway, I lead off with the Avalugg. We already know the drill. We're flat. We're Stanley. We're out here to just scout some stuff out. So immediately a Dedenne right over here. I'm like, I will take advantage of that. I can take attacks from a Dedenne all day. I also have the Earthquake that protect not in time. So now we got ourselves in a 1v1 combo with the Heavy Slam thanks to it being part Fairy. does take care of it. Now, unfortunately, the Chandelure targets me with a heat wave. Now, here's the thing. I stay in because Assault Vest, I should be able to live one heat wave. It ends up getting a critical hit, though. So, you know, that does take care of me, sadly. I kind of just wanted to see how much that was going to do. A critical hit does get me. Now, I come back in, and I'm like, I can live one, right? I get a Stone Edge off. Nope, apparently, a heat wave just straight up knocks you out from a Chandelure. So, you know, not an ideal start as I go down. I do get a knockout. I go down twice. And while it feels like I should have more, I'm like halfway to a Mega Charge, so I can't really go Beedrill yet. Now, I go Pyroar because I want to try to focus on this this freaking Glaceon here, but it ends up chasing it down, and then there's a Xerneas just firing shit at me. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'll go Beedrill then. This is no problem. There's also, I have the Drill Run on the Dedenne, so I get a Sword Stance off from afar. I don't know what this Dedenne wants to do, if this thing's scary, but I'm just going to Drill Run it, and it does like half. So I don't know what the hell they're feeding this Dedenne. Luckily, though, a Poison Jab takes care of it because we get that stab, super effective hit. And then, as I turn around, freaking Houndoom comes at me, so I'm like, just go ahead and Drill Run you, grab another kill, and a Mega. They do get an Overheat off, but luckily I'm able to live, and then I can go right to the middle and get that heal. So then I go for another Drill Run into Chandelure. They try to get a Heat Wave off, which I dodged. That was extremely sick. The Drill Run combo with the Poison Jab takes care of it. And unfortunately, Garchomp, not ideal. As I try to just get some damage on it, the freaking Houndoom comes at me from behind. So, you know, call that doggy style. I'm chilling at 4 kills, though, so we got that #1 spot. I'm going to go right back into the Beedrill because we seem like we're getting some good action with it. We seem to like Glaceon, so I'm going to Sword Stance at it. They also get some damage there from the Garchomp, but unfortunately, as they switch, I try to go into something, and then I just get picked off by some stray attack. So, you know, it happens. This game mode, it definitely happens a lot, but it's fine. I'm in Mega range. I'm going Drill again. Sadly, however, there's a Skarmory around, so that's not what we like to see. There is still a Xerneas, though, so I'm going to try to just focus on the Xerneas. I try to meet it on the other side as it runs from the freaking bridge, but guess what? Beedrill's so quick, I just meet you wherever the hell you want to be. I Poison Jab it for the knockout, and then I do not have any business fighting a Skarmory at all. So honestly, this team, I just try to go Pyroar. I'm mashing the switch to Pyroar. Luckily, I do get it off, which is great, because now I can try to Heat Wave the damn guy, but of course, it has Drill Run. And Drill Run is just everywhere right now. It is going to be able to take care of Pyroar, sadly. And down I go. So as the match is coming to a close, we're down to 20 seconds left. As I spawn, I go Beedrill right away. I am going to go for the Mega. I think, can I 1v1 this Houndoom? Probably not. Do I try it anyway? I sure do. I Drill Run into it without a Sword Stance. They get me with an Overheat. So, you know, the Houndoom had to get me once. I got him earlier. He does get me there. We're now tied for the #1 spot with the 5 knockouts. There's only 1 second left as I respawn. And sadly, that's going to be the end of the game, but that's still a tie for first. The Beedrill is just putting us in winnable games, honestly, pretty easily. I mean, we tie for that one, but that's fine. We will absolutely take that. And while you don't see anybody else seeming to use Mega Beedrill, we're out here just spreading the propaganda that this thing is the truth. And that's now going to bring us into one final match for the day. Look, if you've stuck around this far into the video, make sure to hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. I realize that these Legend ZA ranked matches are completely different than my usual content, but for me, it's a nice little break, and I've desperately needed something to switch things up, and this is really keeping things fresh. Anyway, as I lead off here, I immediately run right over to an Excadrill, and they do hit me with a Drill Run that does like nothing, and as I go for an Earthquake, I almost get it into range. It turns out, however, they switch, and as they bring out a Delphox, there's also a Charizard running around, and my Iceberg ass is in danger, so I end up switching. I go into Pyroar just because, you know, I am not afraid of fire with this thing. I can potentially throw some Earth Powers around. Now, I do get an Earth Power off on the Delphox. Doesn't quite put it into range to knock it out, but it's pretty low over here. I try to finish it with a Hyper Voice, but then they switch, because always. And now my Lion's looking like an idiot, just Hyper Voicing into nothing. So I go right into Beedrill here. As they swap into a Gardevoir, I'm like, maybe Buddy's running out of swaps here. I'm going to Sword Stance from afar. There's 2 Gardevoirs around. I do get a Poison Jab off. I finish off 1. Unfortunately, however, the second one, it takes care of me with a Mystical Fire. So, you know, hey, at least I grab a knockout there early with the Beedrill without even the Mega. It's always kind of satisfying. But what's great now is that it's Beedrill time, baby, because I do have my Mega in range. I Sword Stance from afar in a safe range from this Delphox, and I figure, hey, if I can get a Drill Run off here, that thing's going to be looking like your mom, because I do be drilling your mom. Anyway, I do get the Drill Run off on the Delphox, takes care of it while it's busy with the Dragonite. I also try to Wombo combo on the Dragonite. I do end up missing it because it Megas, but then I have the time to just get a Poison Jab off that does take care of it. And as Beedrill was on 1 last health there, I was able to switch just in time. I was burnt. I was on my last life there. But as I go into Pyroar, I'm basically just here to try to snag a kill if I can. I do end up getting an Earth Power on that Delphox, which is sick. And as I bring in the Avalugg as my last alive fella, I also figure this is perfect. If I can get an Icicle Crash off on this Dragonite, That's going to knock his ass out. And it does. I get another kill here. The full team is putting in the finest of work. Bad news is, without a heal item here, I'm stuck at super low health. I figure I can kind of 1v1 this Delphox and get a little earth power off on it. Sadly, the Gardevoir picks me off. So, you know, that's fine. Gives me a second to breathe. I have 5 kills racked up. I also see a Xerneas on the field. So my ass is definitely going into the Beedrill early. Now this Gardevoir does run over to me, wants to fight. I figure this thing's in range for anything to knock it out. A Drill Run is going to take care of it before it gets off a Mystical Fire. And now I just combo right into a Xerneas and Poison Jab that thing. So that's some quick ones. Also, there's still another Gardevoir around. I do miss an X Scissor, but as I hit it with a Drill Run, I get it close and I do have my attacks cooled down. But freaking Charizard ruins my day there. There was a chance for a super sick little triple combo there, but it's fine. I still have 7 kills. I'm in the first spot here. The Charizard is a little bit of a problem, and as this Xerneas is still coming out, I'm going to make him pay for it. I go Beedrill here. I get off a Poison Jab without Mega, unfortunately. I do get the Poison as well, but they wisely are going to swap out there. So the best part about Beedrill for this matchup is there's always a Fairy type for me to Poison Jab. I send that thing to the Shadow Realm, and then as I come around here, I Drill Run off on the Delphox. After that Gardevoir kill, I end up getting the knockout with my Drill Run, as that thing also kills me. So we go knockout for knockout. That's totally fine. We're sitting at 9 kills. I really would love to get to 10, but that's a difficult feat to do. I almost get a Poison Jab off on this Gardevoir at the end there. But of course, the timer is going to spare that thing's life. Now, luckily, without Mega, I wouldn't probably have had the knockout there anyway, but we still end up with 9 kills. That is incredibly satisfying, and that's a fun one. Honestly, Gardevoir is an interesting check for Beedrill just because it's a scary matchup. Like, if they get off a stab psychic move before I'm able to target them, you have a bad time, or if you don't have Mega or a Sword Stance to just knock it out with a Poison Jab. But regardless, that is going to be the end of the video. Also, shout out to freaking Game Freak for finally giving us good rewards. I have tons of Moon Balls and Nuggets. You even get bottle caps from rewards for winning games now. Thank God, because the bottle caps are, or at least were, at a damn premium these days. But I got tons of them. Hell yeah. And shout out thanks to Beedrill, just earning me some sick items. And if you had fun with this, again, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already. And I will be back with likely some more Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battles with some more of these sprinkled in. We'll see how it goes. Thank you guys. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.